All right, let's talk about something real quick. Okay, you know how the closer you grow to God, the things that you can stomach begin to change. The podcasts you listen to, the movies you watch, the songs you listen to, the environments you're in, the friends you're around, things begin to change because you realize it's not flesh and blood that we are battling against. This is all spiritual warfare. Everything is spiritual. That's why alcohol is referred to as spirits, because your spirit changes. And don't ever listen to that notion that says, oh, when you're drunk or when you drink, that's who you really are. No, stop. That is a shame-filled projection coming from probably the enemy. That's not who you really are. Alcohol, spirits, they are activating certain things within you and making you become something different. So in reality, like when you black out, not everyone's blacked out before. As an addict, I have blacked out many times. I wasn't there. So it was very scary to think, who is that? Who is that? It's another spirit that took over my body. Anyways, that's a spiritual thing. Do some research. You can figure that one out. I'm not going to get too deep in that. So last night I was watching a movie called Legion. And in this movie, one of God's angels decides to rebel against God's orders because God's orders were to take out all of humanity, not like the flood. Because in the flood, he took us out and he restarted, and then he used the rainbow as symbolism. Like, this is my promise. I will never do it again. So he didn't do it again through a flood. He did it a different way. So one of his angels decided to rebel against what God wanted because the angel knew what God needed. And what God needed, this is just a movie. No one knows what God needs more than God, okay? Just a movie. But in the movie, the angel knew that what God needed was his faith in humanity restored, his love and his hope for the future, for things to get better, that there is still good in this world, to be reminded he needed that restored. So the angel fought for that. The angel won. It's a good movie. Anyways, it reminded me of my own life and your life. So often, God doesn't give us what we want because God knows what we need. And we may think we know what we want. Our heart is a liar. Our heart hurts. Okay? It holds a lot of pain. All right? So we may think that we want certain things, but God knows what we need. And that is why God gives us what we need and not what we want. So we need to lean on him more, and we need to trust him because he knows us best. That's all that matters.